name is Austin Reidner, and I will be presenting my Luna final project assignment. So, in this presentation, what we'll be addressing this presentation in regards to Luna the book is how Luna's family reacted to her becoming a transgender, as well as how Luna being a transgender affected her relationships with her family members. Specifically, we'll be looking at two of them. We'll be looking at the relationships that Luna had with her father and her sister, Reagan. Next, we'll be addressing how the common U.S. family responds to a family member coming out as transgender, and how the common U.S. family has their relationships affected by a family member coming out as transgender. These are some of the challenges faced by the families of transgender individuals, and a lot of them revolve around accepting or a transgender person and accepting who they are and what they want to be. And these are accepting that a person has changed their gender that they identify with, accepting that a person will transition or has already transitioned, as well as accepting a transgender family member back into the family circle after they have been ostracized. And we'll talk about ostracization a little bit later in the presentation. But two other very common challenges faced by the families of transgender individuals is understanding why a person has changed their gender or their gender identity, as well as it is very challenging for some families to maintain a relationship with a family member who has transitioned or wants to transition. And in my research, I've found that this is most common in religious families or family members who are older in age. So, how did Luna's family handle those challenges in the book Luna? Well, her father did not handle them very well at all. In fact, he did not accept Luna's gender identity, period. And he was very vocal about it, telling her that he wished she was more masculine and boyish. And at this time, Luna was still, Liam. He hadn't begun to transition. He hadn't done anything like that. And so, while Luna was still Liam, her father hated that she did not take an interest in more masculine things such as sports, and he even forced Liam, who is Luna, to try out for baseball while in high school, so that way Luna could be more quote-unquote masculine. Some of Luna's interests were that her father didn't see as very masculine, was that she took an interest in computers and video games, and later we'll mention it in the next slide. She also took an interest in wearing girls' clothes and wearing makeup at the nighttime. And then at the end of the book, Luna's father actually kicks her out of the house when she comes out to her parents because he could not accept that his son wanted to be a girl and take hormone blockers and undergo gender reassignment surgery. And I do think that some of this was influenced by the fact that Liam/Luna was the only son that her father had, but that still doesn't justify it or make it right. So on a more positive note, we'll look at how Luna's sister Reagan handled those challenges. Reagan actually overcame most, if not all of them. I think the only thing that Reagan didn't, or the only challenge Reagan still had to work on was understanding why. Although she was almost there, in my opinion. But anyways, Luna's sister Reagan accepted Luna and her new identity and embraced it, saying that she always saw Luna as more of a sister figure than a brother. Reagan showed a lot of support for Luna by allowing her to try on her clothes, as in Reagan's clothes, in the middle of the night, as well as putting on and messing with Reagan's makeup. And then Reagan, even around the middle of the book, towards the end of the book, Regan even prioritized Luna going to the mall as her new self. And she did so by driving Luna to the mall while Luna was wearing Regan's clothes and I believe Regan's makeup. And Regan chose to support Luna and take her to the mall rather than going on a date with the boy that she had feelings for. She turned down the guy that she had a crush on when he first asked her out when what would have been their first date was supposed to happen. So anyways, how do the families of transgender individuals typically handle these challenges in the United States? So in my research, these responses are most common in religious families or family members that are older in age. Again, usually about born 1 to 2 generations before the person who is transgender was born. Some of these families ostracize the individual from the family circle, and they do so by excluding the person from family events or removing them from group chats. Some families kick the person out of the house entirely, only allowing them to come back when they've quote-unquote fixed themselves or grown out of this phase. Or they're sent off to boarding school or to a boarding program. And the idea is that these boarding schools or programs will quote-unquote fix their children and bring them back to normal and make them normal again. So on a more positive note, how do some of the families of transgender individuals typically handle these challenges in the United States? Some of them actually accept the transgender individual for who they are and what their new identity is. And other times, these families are completely indifferent to who or what their family members identify as, and would rather love them for who they are or who they want to be, rather than risking losing them as a loved one. So moving on to my opinion. Should the families of transgender individuals handle these issues differently? In my opinion, in a short answer, yes. In a long answer, a transgender person is just that, a person. Families should always do their best and strive to understand and love each other regardless of who a family member chooses to be or chooses to do with their bodies, such as transitioning. And this should be something no matter what religion the family is a part of. It's always best to love your family and each other rather than risk losing someone that you love and care for. And finally, this is my works cited page. Anyways, thank you so much for the assignment. I've enjoyed this assignment. I've enjoyed the entire semester. I'm sad that it's coming to a close and this is my final assignment for this class, but I'm very grateful for the opportunities that you've provided me. Anyways, thank you so much for coming and listening to my presentation. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Enjoy the winter break and have a Merry Christmas. Thank you so much. Bye.